Why is trespassing considered illegal when we as American citizens were born on free land? Have you ever wanted to explore a public place in the world and was not able to do so due to no trespassing restrictions that are put into play by the government? I'm sure you can relate. If so, this brings me to my topic today. Hello, I'm Honesty Hodges, and I will be explaining my issue with the law of no trespassing. No trespassing laws around the world are limiting human interactions with nature and distracting us from our reality. This is causing humans to be out of touch with their energy and natural resources, which may be the cause of so much violence in the world today. This is why doing more peaceful protests is important, because it brings community and races together to fight for the same beliefs. This discussion will consist of summaries on facts that I have found from articles regarding rebellious groups, peaceful protests, fines, organizations, and even governmental officials that have spoke out regarding going against the First Amendment, mainly our right to assemble. This issue may not seem that big, but it goes against our First Amendment. We as human beings, which states that it protects our right to assemble and express our views or thoughts through protests, or even spoken out against by governmental officials such as Donald Trump. Trump has spoken out on many occasions on how he is against immigrants and wants to punish any immigrant who assembles and protests at the border that he has created. But on the other hand, Trump has asked his supporters on multiple occasions to protest for him being arrested for his illegal actions. Doing these actions has caused Trump to look like a hypocrite and go against the First Amendment. This brings me to my first source, which is an article named "The Fight for the Right to Trespass" by author Brooke Jarvis. In this article, Brooke explains how a group of English activists tries to legally express the movement known as the Right to Roam, which consists of a group of rebellious swimmers that trespass for the right to swim, walk, camp, cycle, and canoe. By doing this, these activists are trying to spread the idea that nature is a common good for all humans. The author strongly believes that the world around us is free land and was left to us by God. So for this reason, restrictions should not be put on public places along with no trespassing signs, because this is causing humans to not explore nature to their fullest potential. It is important that we as humans connect with nature, because this is the main source for all of our energy, especially for Black Americans in the spiritual world. Everything is connected and grows from each other spiritually. So humans need nature and nature needs us. In this article, the activists believe that humans should be able to explore the world freely, so they hold mass protests that go against the no trespassing law. These protests consist of swimming in open restricted waters while carrying large banners that read "The Right to Swim." Many of these activists travel by train, bus, or even foot just to be able to express and go against these restrictions in exchange for their freedom. During these protests, many activists go through self-reflecting moments where they are contemplating whether doing these actions are really worth it or worth the consequences due to the freezing weather conditions and the cold water temperatures. But after realizing how many people it brings together, everything surely becomes worth it. His article expresses how no one owns this world but God, because He's the creator, and no one has the right to own mountains any more than the deep ocean bed. This civil right issue relates to the First Amendment, which states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise, therefore, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. Furthermore, this brings me to my second source, which is an article named "Trespass to the Land of Wisconsin: Understand the Laws and Consequences" by Nathan Delente. This article gives the rundown of the seriousness of consequences that can take place from breaking this law in Wisconsin. In this article, Nathan suggests that in Wisconsin, the no trespassing law is a serious matter. So to trespass onto someone's land refers to entering or remaining on someone's property without their permission, whether it's residential or commercial. This includes hunting without permission, walking through someone's yard, or even camping on private land without authorization. To establish the trespass to land case in Wisconsin, several key elements must be present, which include unauthorized entry, knowledge, notice, and intent. meaning that the defendant must have entered or remained on his property without permission or legal right to do so, and must know that they are trespassing. In Wisconsin, trespassing is a grave offense that can result in both civil and criminal repercussions. Penalties for trespassing in Wisconsin can range from fines to imprisonment, depending on the circumstances of the situation. To prevent trespassing, property owners in Wisconsin can take several steps. One can be posting no trespassing signs, building fences and any other physical barrier, communicating with trespassers, or even contacting local law enforcement for further assistance. In conclusion, trespassing in Wisconsin is a serious matter that can result in legal consequences for those who violate property rights. Property owners have the right to protect their land from any unauthorized entry, and trespassers may face civil liability and criminal charges. This article relates to the Sixth Amendment Bill of Rights, which is the right to a fair and speedy trial in all criminal prosecutions. The accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously inserted by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against them, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in their favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for their defense. With this being said, I strongly feel that if there is not a crime being committed by a trespasser, then legal action should not be taken place. But if so, then the trial should not be biased and should be fair on all ends. As a result, after listening to the information I have provided, it can be said that we as people of the world and of the century must keep doing what we want and fighting for what we believe in. No violence or hate have to be taking place to express our beliefs, so we as a people must become one and assemble as one and stand for what we believe in every time that we feel it is necessary. I feel that every U.S. citizen should have the same amount of access to any part of the world and any land on this earth, as long as a crime isn't being committed.